Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week we are getting into it. We are going to discuss Alex's so-called budget bike and if he was right to make those upgrades.
Oh man, this is going to be absolutely brutal. Plus, of course, in Hot Tech we have a new helmet, some new wheels, a SRAM lawsuit, World Championships bikes, plus a competition, and of course, comments of the week and the bike vault. Right, let's get into this. Okay, right, so this week I wanted to discuss my bike and setup from last weekend's GCN video, where I successfully proved that entry-level bikes in the right setup with the right rider can hold their own against top-spec bikes at race speeds, right? The reason I felt like I wanted to revisit this subject and discuss it a little bit further, open this up more, is because there might have been a few people in the comments that were claiming I basically cheated by fitting some upgrades onto the bike and I really should have just ridden it in its out-of-the-box condition. So I thought, let's talk more about it.
Okay, let's get into it. I need to state as well, this was Alex's idea to put himself out there, so fair play.
I'm happy to discuss
and get into it because, okay, there were a lot of comments. Some were agreeing with you and your philosophy, some totally disagreed with you. But let's start from the beginning. So the bike was £1,000 in British money.
Yeah.
Out of the box.
That's like it's brand new, straight out of the box condition, right? £1,000.
And so what did you upgrade and how much did that cost?
Well, Connor, I just made a few simple, basic speed upgrades to this bike. So, new wheels, new tyres, new inner tubes, new stem, new handlebar, new saddle. Didn't actually need the saddle. It was just a case of using my comfy saddle. People also picked up that I put £1,000 set of power meter pedals on there. But look, everyone has to use their own pedals. I used power meter pedals just so we had some data for the video from some cool stats. Okay. Yeah?
How much did each of those upgrades cost? Because you basically upgraded everything on the bike apart from the group set.
Not everything, no.
That's everything on the bike apart from the group set. Why else haven't you upgraded?
Frame, forks.
Frame and forks.
Brakes. Brake rotors.
Yeah, okay. That's the group
seat
set.
post. Headset bearings.
Okay, how much did each one cost?
Okay, so the wheels, understandably, one of the biggest outlays. But if you were to buy this stuff, like just new one, you're looking at about £1,000 for the wheels. I've got a little list here. Tyres maybe 150, tubes 30, bars 80, stem 100 pounds, saddle 150 pounds. So let's just say if you rocked up to the bike shop, you wanted all that stuff, you're looking at around £1,500, which I totally understand. £1,500 spend on a £1,000 bike is significant. I'm in no point ever disputing that, right?
I mean, I think most of those upgrades are fair enough on their own as like an upgrade over time.
Yeah.
I think the one that jumps out to me is the wheel set, because what you've basically done is you've that's something like I can tick away and I can upgrade that, it's fair enough. And then I am not feeding my family for a month, but I'm going to get a carbon wheel set.
Yeah, okay, so I think there's a few different ways of looking at it, because I'm totally with you. There's no disputing the fact that that value of stuff is significant, right? I mean, the grand scheme of it, it's still a lot less than a lot of other bikes which people will regularly buy and ride. But I think the wheel set you could look at, if you wanted to upgrade your wheel set on any bike, you don't have to choose that. You could choose to buy a second-hand set, and that's really going to bring the price down. But I think the more important thing here that people highlighted was, did I really need to upgrade the wheels? Well, no, I don't think I really needed to. Yes, of course, there's a small performance element to it, but really it was about tricking the bike out to make it look way more attractive. It looks a lot cooler. All of a sudden, what was an entry-level bike that looked pretty cool in the first place now looks like a proper performance bike. That was the kind of approach I took.
And why didn't you just race the bike in its current state? But before you done the race.
Let me just correct you there. It wasn't a race. It was a fast group ride.
Fast group ride.
I think on my honest thing here, if I pulled that bike out of the box, jumped on it and tried to do what was a super fast group ride at 43k an hour or something, well, I probably would have got dropped quicker than Ollie got dropped in that video. We'd have had a 3-minute video. No one would have been... I can just tell you now, super entry-level bikes without the right little tweaks and upgrades, you can't do that ride at those speeds unless you're Tadej Pogacar. Okay, so I made what I deemed to be the bits required to go that fast. Now, some people were saying, right, no one is going to ever buy an entry-level bike and then make those upgrades straight away. But no, they're not. Because equally, that same person isn't going to just get an entry-level bike and then try and do a 45 km/h group ride. Over the time, you do more riding, your fitness improves, your skill improves, you ride with other people, you perhaps start doing faster rides, and along that way and journey, your sort of bike is probably going to evolve with you, with the upgrades that I think that most people would make over time. Okay. And then at that stage, you might think, right, okay, I want to do a really fast ride, and you're looking and going, well, everyone's got all these really expensive bikes. Do I really need that? And what I wanted to prove was, you don't necessarily need that, but these are some of the bits you need to make an entry-level bike pretty damn capable of holding its own against bikes which, let's face it, are 3, maybe 4 times more expensive.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point.
Yeah.
I think you've addressed the kind of the areas where you could invest in if you want to as you start taking the sport more seriously. I think what is a key point here, and it's worth bearing in mind, is that you're coming at this from like a race perspective.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you don't want to race, yeah, sure.
We're not 100%. We aren't saying that you like need this or that.
No one needs to do any of that stuff.
I think, but I think it is worth saying if you are getting into racing, you're looking to progress further.
Yeah,
there are certain upgrades that you will need to start looking at to be more competitive. Yeah, you can still race in whatever you want. Like you can jump on the start line, whatever bike you want. If you want to make it easier on yourself, these are some of the areas to look at.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed it a lot here on the Tech channel, right? We nerd out on this stuff all the time. We have highlighted many times before that aerodynamics and body position are the most important thing to really maximise your performance. And also rolling resistance, tyres are crucial. So there is it's a safe space to talk, right? I've got to be honest. There's a little part of me inside that is like, I wish I could have tried to maybe prove to everyone I could have done it with stock wheels as well. And then I think if you remove the upgraded wheels from the equation here, I feel like everyone would be a lot more relaxed about it. Do you think?
I think the wheels took it into a mid-range bike. It's still not. It's not an entry-level race bike. I think because you can go, because that's the other point. You can get really good equipment secondhand. We are looking here at brand new stuff.
We're looking at new stuff.
You can go on a marketplace online and you can pick up some really good deals. Like personally, I think you can get a decent race bike for around £500 English money.
Yeah.
Secondhand.
Well, I mean, 100%. If you're shopping around, we've spoken about this before, haven't we? And said that there are loads of bargains to find if you want to choose something that's using tech that's a little bit older. So I got a question actually to come back at you with slightly. In that situation, okay, you're me. What would you have done if you're like, right, I've got to keep up on this fast ride? What would you have done to your setup?
I'd have just upgraded the wheels. But
just?
I wouldn't have gone.
You kept the slower tyres.
Yeah.
This guy.
I'd have
so
upgraded
you'd have chosen the most expensive upgrade.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have gone for the full. You could have got a £500 wheel set. Then that would have been a solid upgrade, and that's that. And then you'd have kept up with that. But
okay, yeah. So we're kind of like agreeing to disagree in some ways.
I think you went a bit too far. You brought it out of entry level.
Look, I mean, it's what everyone's come to expect from me, is it not?
I think the debate as well is whether carbon can compete with an alloy frame set in a race setting, which...
Well, I think that this is what we proved. I think we should...
It can. I raced on an alloy frame set.
This is actually a really interesting point. Yeah, like talk to us a bit more about this.
Yeah, so I raced on an alloy frame set in 2015. It was a Condor Italia RC, and basically it was the right size for me, and I raced that for I think it was 2 months, and then Condor actually did a full custom carbon frame set based on that. Yeah. So I was able to get used to the geometry and start racing, and then I kind of got the carbon frame set down the line. But I personally loved racing on the alloy frame set. It was like, there were some areas I think it lacks. I felt it lacked in acceleration a little bit in the bunch, just that little bit where you need to nudge into a gap. Yeah. It was a little sluggish. But
this is like top tier racing you're talking about.
That was kind of it, and the rest of it, I thought it was super stiff, it felt lovely. Yeah. I was happy with it, the position was great.
Because in my mind, it's mega to hear that, because in my mind I was thinking, naturally people gravitate to being slightly more, I don't want to say negative, but it's easy to try and pick things apart rather than try and be positive. Because I thought, well, this is a brilliant situation. I just showed to the world that you don't have to have all the crazy, like, expensive bike and all of the most bling equipment to go crazy fast. Surely we should all be going, well, this is brilliant. Normally, Alex would be going, well, you have to spend all of your money to go really fast. But in this instance, I was like, you don't have to spend £1 million. You can be more reserved. Yes, you've still got to spend a significant amount of money if you want performance, but not everyone wants performance. If you want to just go have a good time, ride any bike you like.
There we go.
Can you debate that? I don't think we can debate that more.
No, I think you still took it a little too far. Do
you know what? I'm going to sit here and go, I perhaps agree. Maybe we should investigate this further. Maybe I should like reverse engineer the upgrades and see what each little bit makes rather than just lumping them all in together.
Yeah, I think, and let us know in the comment section below what you think. I think there needs to be some form of rerun. And I think we all need to decide as a community what that rerun should be.
Okay. I think it was the last race, fast group ride of the summer, that one. So we might have to either have to do a new event or wait till next summer. Yeah, I don't know.
Watch this space.
I am keen to hear everyone's thoughts on this because it's good to hear like the constructive thought process behind it. Yeah. So, and I'm open to criticism.
Yeah, fair play.
Thanks, man. Well, I'm glad we have cleared that up. As Connor said, get involved in the comments section and we'll pick best ones out next week, won't we?
Yeah.
Right, it's now time for Hot and Spicy Tech. And we're going to kick things off with this SRAM lawsuit, right? So I believe you and Dan spoke about this in the GCN show the other day.
Yeah, so it's an interesting one, this. As you may have noticed, the UCI are bringing in different measures in pro racing to try and increase safety. And one of the measures is a gear ratio restriction, which is going to be 54:11. Now, this is just a trial for the moment. It's going to come into force in the Tour of Guangxi, which is like the last kind of race on the pro calendar in China. SRAM are challenging this. They're taking their case to the Belgium Competition Authority.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And they are taking it on the grounds of it's antitrust, it's competition because it's like unfair to SRAM that some athletes... Because basically the point in question here is that SRAM's gearing doesn't quite match up to 54:11.
Yeah, so the technical... regulation that the UCI are trialling is a maximum gear rollout of 10.46 meters. So that's you travel 10.46 meters for one revolution of the crank. Now, the most effective way to achieve that is 54 tooth chainring, 11 tooth sprocket at the back, but which is kind of like the standard for a lot of teams in the World Tour. But SRAM teams, well, you've got that extra 10 tooth sprocket. So I think they're trying to say unfairly disadvantages them because they're going to have one less gearing option and they're essentially going to have to race around with a 10 tooth sprocket on their bike, which they can't use. Yeah. Whereas everyone else will be like, well, we just got a normal setup.
So naturally, if this rule does come into force, your riders will either move to a different group set or SRAM will have to change their gear entirely.
Yeah, I'm actually think I'm in agreement with this. I think we need to come up with a better solution that doesn't just impact certain people. I think we need to have something that is an equal thing amongst everybody.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. It looks like it's been reviewed and it's going through the motions.
Yeah, I think I'll be keen to see how it evolves over time. So cool. Right, I did say we have some new helmets to talk about this week, and these are from Met. So check out these bad boys. It's called the Absolute White Collection, an all-white aesthetic. What do you think?
I think this looks pretty bling.
White helmets are cool.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. I don't think it's like something for the British winter.
Probably not.
But there is soap and a hot bucket of water.
Yeah, so what makes this stand out, I think, like Met are doing now, there's a few other brands that are doing something similar, is they're using a white EPS core and all of the white fixtures and fittings on the helmet rather than just like the polycarbonate outer shell. And I just think it makes it look really, really cool. I don't know, like you say, if it would be something for all year use, but I think it's nice. You've got a few different options to choose from. You've got the Trenta, the Manta, and the Rivale. There we go. I was like computing that then. Yeah, right. We've got some new wheels to talk about as well next, haven't we?
We do. So this is the new Vision SC 48 I-25.
Yeah, Dan has already had his hands on a set of these, and I think Sai and Ollie spotted them at Sea Otter last week while they were out there, which I think we should have a hot tech video out on GCN Tech already, where you can take a closer look at them. But essentially, they've tried to create a vision of trying to create a wheel which ticks the box of like modern, wider road tyres, but also being optimised for wide gravel tyres as well. So you kind of like do it all option. As you mentioned, 25mm internal, hooked rim channel, 48mm deep, 1,590 grams a pair. So pretty cool, these things.
Nice.
Next up, we wanted to talk about some World Championships bikes. You actually spotted this. I think it was a post on Instagram from Velon. Looking at the other end of the scale of bikes, because naturally we tend to gravitate towards like the most advanced, crazy, most expensive bikes. But what you spotted was some of the bikes of the lesser known riders that wouldn't normally have potentially access to the World Championships.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of the things you see a lot of at the World Championships, and you see smaller nations able to compete. I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's such an amazing opportunity for these riders to get into a major competition.
Yeah, I think what it highlights... Oh, go on, so you carry on.
No, it's just incredible to see the love for the sport in so many different places around the world.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. But for me, it did highlight the sort of disparity between nations and equipment and support that we've got, which I think is his own thing to discuss and debate. But really, I think it was good to showcase these riders and what they're out achieving. I think it was good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's incredible to see people taking on a world's race with the bike that they can get.
Yeah.
I do think it does, like you say, raise a question of whether there should be more put in place to help these riders just get a bit more onto a level playing field in terms of equipment.
I don't think anyone can really debate that. Of course, it would be great to reduce the difference in like resource between different nations. It would be nice to close that margin. How you go about doing that, I don't think there's a easy subject to discuss. Certainly not a quick one, that's for sure.
Yeah, but that
cool to highlight nonetheless.
Yeah, I think it's great just to see people go out there giving it their best and enjoying the around the world, which is still to go. I think it's still a week of racing.
Yeah, so the time trial has already been at the time of filming this, and actually on the subject of the World Championship, it turns out you can ride part of or the full route of the Road Race World Championships on Ruvi. So I was away on holiday last week, just to remind everybody, and this actually landed in my inbox, but I missed it. So you can ride loads of the course virtually, especially because a lot of the riders won't have been able to go out in advance to do much of the route recon. Victor Campenarts has been quoted to say, course knowledge can make or break race preparation. So having the ability to get accustomed to these routes in advance of heading to Rwanda is hugely valuable. It's also pretty cool that alongside being able to arrive in Kigali already knowing much of the race route, riders from all around the world can also experience the routes who wouldn't normally get a chance to ride it.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Competition next. Do you want to run us through some of the details here? Yeah,
we have got a competition with Elite Wheels running. So do get involved if you can and check out the terms and conditions, which are linked in the description below, because there are a few different territory restrictions.
Yeah, so these are a special edition Drive 2 50D wheel set, which launched, I think I mentioned it in the tech show a few weeks back, with a different colour logo on to celebrate Elite Wheels' 10-year anniversary, which is pretty cool. As Connor said, link in the description. And don't forget to read the terms and conditions.
Yeah, it runs the 26th of September too, so get in now while you can.
Zwift news next. So firstly, reminder that Dan is still doing his training and build-up sessions on Zwift for the Gravel World Championships. 2 weekly rides. You've got Tuesdays 9 a.m. and Thursdays 11 a.m. This is British summertime. These run all the way through till 9th of October, so if you want to get involved, I think we'll have a link in the description down below. But also, the Zwift Racing League is kicking off, right? And we have been appointed team managers of teams on Zwift. And it's like a whole thing, right?
Oh, it's amazing. It's great to see everyone getting so into it. My team's doing really well.
My team's doing great.
Yeah.
I have to apologise in advance. There was like good team bonding. We've been added into like a WhatsApp chat group with everybody. There was a bit of radio silence from me as I was on holiday, and everyone's like, "Hey, Alex, like you're great to have you in the team." And it was just like tumbleweed, so I didn't get the messages straight away. So sorry about that. But it's so cool to see like a little community forming of people like talking about the routes that are coming up, the best way to approach the races, and then we're going to help get involved with looking at some recon and being like, right, the points race, what can we do, how can we approach it and stuff like that. And I think we might also try and get involved later into the season as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Zwift Racing League is a really good way to get involved with the Zwift community. But can I just highlight, my team have already been trolling me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so there's already been a lot of jokes about Dura-Ace cranks. So yeah, I just have to embrace that, really.
£1,000 wheel sets?
No, nobody's got onto that one yet. They've been too kind, yeah. So nonetheless, it's pretty cool to see. And that is it for Hot Tech this week. Right now, let's move on to comments of the week, shall we?
Comments of the week.
Right, do you want to kick us off with some comments from last week's show?
Yeah, this was from Cram Renrut 950. It's taken 47 years to beat Alf's record with all today's tech. He was more than impressive.
Yeah, 100%. Great, another Dura-Ace crank joke coming here. It says, he sits in his house furiously polishing his Dura-Ace crank sets. That's a sentence you'd not want to be taken out of context. Yes, I completely agree.
Rally Ekev, Colin Sturgis's 10-mile road bike record was a similarly impressive ride when he clocked the first sub 19-minute 10-mile TT on standard round tube steel road bike, doing an 18:48 back in 1988. It took 35 years to break that one.
That is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Colin Sturgis is also a really nice guy. I picked that comment out because I thought, do you know what? I don't think many people could even do that now on modern bikes still. The same concept as what Ollie and Si were talking about of the Alf Engers.
Yeah, 18:48 is rapid for a 10-mile TT.
I don't even know if I could do 18:48 on a full-time trial setup.
Yeah.
Most people couldn't, could they? That highlights just how impressive some of this stuff is. Weekend just gone, I don't know if you've seen it yet, I made a video about why carbon or carbon ceramic brakes are pretty much never going to exist on bikes. Loads of good engagement actually in the comments here. People similar to my entry-level bike. Some people for it, some people against it, and they're like, it's just good to hear everyone sharing their opinions. But Volker Banfi 4370 says, it's official. Since Hank retired, Alex has been promoted to the GCN crash test dummy. Richard Harris says, I was thinking the same. I hope Alex gets a raise. It's not actually been an official promotion to crash test dummy, but I'll take that role on. Yeah.
Dwayne from Canada. I think Dwayne's from Canada. Hello.
Yeah, you think?
Yes, I invested in the original Kickstarter kettle bikes for their sick SFL full carbon rotors, and I did receive them. They were a completely flat piece of CNC carbon fibre, 12k weave. The SFL 160s on my Moots hardtail at the time on Chris King hubs with MV wheels. They had a specific brake pad to use with them and a specific bedding process. I recall that you wanted to follow with their rotors. The carbon rotors were just okay on dry conditions, probably about 56% of the power of the steel SRAM rotors with SRAM Guide Ultimate brakes at the time. That was way back in 2014.
This is crazy.
I mean, they worked, but so would a piece of wood. They did stop you, but not great. They were very scary when wet. I've sent you photos through the GCN upload of the rotors and bike. I too am really surprised that carbon rotors have never been a thing that could be figured out. I sold the Moots hardtail with them on the bike. I wish I had kept them. Unexpected, the new owner pulled them off and figured I was a bit of a nutter for having them.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the great content, Dwayne from Canada.
This is honestly amazing. So this Kickstarter that I highlighted in the video as one of the places the early sort of place you get carbon fibre rotors from, and I didn't know if there was anyone out there that ever actually got their hands on a set, but it's so cool to hear there is. And there was another comment from someone saying they also got their hands on a set, but they said they were okay in the wet and okay in the dry and dangerous in the wet, sorry. Another comment also said, what about titanium brake rotors? So I've already started investigating titanium rotors already. It's a work in progress. I'm trying to get a set of titanium rotors made.
Really?
Yeah. But the people I'm speaking to about titanium rotors are already telling me it's probably not a great idea. But that's driving me more to try and do it.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Shall we move on to the bike vault?
Bike vault time.
Yeah. Right. The bike vault. This is the part of the show where you can submit a picture of your bike using the link in the description down below, and then Connor and I will pick them out, judge them to be either nice or super nice. If they're super nice, Connor, what happens?
We ring the bell. Starting off with Phil's Trek Domani SL5 Generation 3. This is a Trek Domani SL5 with a Generation 4 frame set though, from a warranty replacement. Okay. So a bit of an upgrade there. Continental Grand Prix 5000 STR tyre, 700 x 32 tubeless with Shimano pedals.
What do we make?
I like a 32mm tyre in a bike, I tell you what.
Yeah, I've started to go to 32s on some of my bikes. It's so comfy.
Yeah. I went back to 28 for a while, and now winter's coming in, conditions are getting worse. I'm like looking at changing.
I was looking through our like top secret tire supply the other day, and there's some 40s of the Pirelli Cinturato like TLR Evo tyre. And I was like, 40s for winter, that could be good.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Well, anyway, this bike, what are we talking about?
Lovely blue colour on that.
Yeah. I quite like it. It's a shame. I don't really like how it's leant up against that pole. But it's a nice bike, a nice image.
I'd watch the bollard. I've had a run-in with a bollard doing a very similar thing, and it did not end well. I broke the top tube of my bike.
Oh, boy, did you?
Yeah. The wind took it, it slipped, and so careful on that one. But other than that, I think that's lovely.
Maybe that was why this was a warranty frame set in the first place.
bit of shadowing going on, which is making it quite hard to figure out.
I'm sorry, I'm calling this a nice.
It's a nice for now. I'd have liked to have, got a bit more of that colour to pop out.
Okay. Right, next is actually Dwayne from Canada talking about his brake rotors. So we've got, here's the image.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is wild. Yeah. I tell you what, Dwayne, I don't know if I'd have had the guts to ride that, so fair play.
Yeah. This is cool, isn't it?
But it does look really cool, but it's not going to look cool if you're down a mountain and you can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say it's a nice.
It's a nice Dwayne.
Ross next, they say they built their dream bike after a long time saving. SOX Tarmac SL8 frame set, satin, carbon / rebel pink. This is so cool. Look at the paint on this thing.
Oh, it looks lovely, that. Looks like a Wahoo radar light on the back there.
Yeah. I like the look of this bike.
Pirelli Tamwall tyres as well.
Tell me your thoughts on this, right? Because there's not many times you see Campag wheels fitted onto a bike that hasn't got Campag on it. What's your thoughts on this? I'm totally down for it because I think these wheels look really cool, and it kind of works with the bike.
Yeah.
Just normally people try and keep the same component group, but I'm all for mix and match.
Yeah,
I'm down for
mix
it.
and match.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's a super nice for me. I personally love the paint job on that. It's just a beautiful. I love the what is it? It's like marble effect.
Yeah,
description. It's like a marble swirl.
Yeah, I don't know what you would officially call it, but it looks
a name for it,
cool.
but it does look cool. I do like that. Yeah, beautiful.
Remember when Ollie tried to do that Ice Effects paint job and that just never really worked out? Oh, sorry, Ollie.
Sorry, Ollie.
No, super nice.
Super nice. We'll forgive the cranks being not at 3 o'clock, but
yeah, bike's cool.
Right.
Derby Nugent.
This is a Trek Boon 6 custom bike built over the summer. I'm 16 and this is my first bike builder.
Good on them.
Yeah, congratulations. I bought a used frame, 61 centimetres. Must be tall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good on you. I relied heavily on GCN Tech videos. I had never done anything more than minor adjustments on our bikes before. I was quite intimidated. It's a cyclocross frame with a Shimano 105 mechanical 12-speed group set. Has a DT Swiss R470 wheels, 38mm gravel tyres. Built it to be an all-road gravel bike. Since I live in the Midwest where gravel roads interrupt pavement enough to frustrate me when I'm riding on a road bike, 25mm tyres.
Like it.
Yeah, this is beautiful. That looks like the way the wheels are leaning up against the yellow post in the photo. Only the tyre side wall is contacting the post.
We can be lenient on that.
The wheel itself doesn't touch. I knew that might be a concern.
Yes.
That's banging. I love that.
That's so cool.
I love the yellow bottle cages matching the yellow of the Trek too.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. Matching bottles too, which is something I'm always guilty of falling foul of.
You never have match. Can we discuss a side note here? Why do you never have matching bottles?
Because I'm always rushing. I've got 3 kids. I've got to get out of the house, and then I'm like, the last thing I do is fill my bottles up. I've got my shoes on. I can't find where the other bottle is.
But at what point are you in such a rush that the bottles are obviously in one area?
They're not in one area. You do not know our house. They're all over the place. They're in bikes, they're in cupboards, they're in the drawer where they're supposed to be, they're in my kids' rooms because they're throwing at each other.
I haven't got any kids, so I can't relate to this. Mine are all neatly organised in a little box.
Yeah,
of course they are.
It does not happen.
Yeah.
It does not happen in our house.
Anyway, back to the Trek. This has got to be a super nice one.
Yeah, super nice that. Yeah, get it in.
Super
Lovely.
nice. Chris from North Carolina. People like saying where they're from in their username.
This is like the Trek special this week, Alex. Everyone's got a Trek.
Why has everyone got Trek?
So like literally every bite's been a Trek apart from the...
I hadn't realised because I picked these out yesterday and I didn't realise. I just did them in chronological order.
Right, another Trek for you.
Right, this is the last one for this week. It's the Domane SLR Segafredo Team Livery SRAM Force Access. This is Blue Ridge Parkway, just outside of Asheville, North Carolina, on top of Mount Mitchell, sorry.
So we were supposed to go and ride there last year, and unfortunately we weren't able to because of the hurricane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was really gutted to not get to go there
after
Hurricane Helen. But it's great to hear in your comments here how you're saying it's just reopened this week.
Wow.
So it's great to hear, and I hope everyone's recovering okay over there.
Yeah, okay.
This photo was taken on 100k ride, 2,200 metres elevation gain, the most I've done to date. Shout out to GCN, as you guys have helped provide a wealth of information and knowledge during that time. Much appreciated.
God, this has put me in a precarious situation here because they're saying like big shouts and thanks to us, but I'm looking at the bike and thinking, it's not in Biggie Smalls. It's in the chain. It's cross chaining a lot. The bike's leant up against the wood.
Well, I'm on the show, Alex, and I always sneak them through. So we'll give it a super nice.
Super nice.
It was great to hear the roads are reopening over there.
This is great. Joe, that was actually mega fun. The bike melt's come to an end. It means the tech show's come to an end.
There we go.
Connor, it's been absolutely mega. Fist bump to that.
Nice one, mate.
Thanks very much. Please do get involved in the comment section down below. I'm happy to have my bike decisions scrutinised, but don't be too mean. We can all be friends and talk about bikes in a good way. Right, we're out of here. Love you, bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.